Hello, everyone. The first thing that I want to say today in this episode of Rom's Ramblings is happy birthday to Kayla. Kayla is a subscriber of mine and also someone that I'm going to be talking about again in a second. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say happy birthday to you, Kayla. I have several things I'd like to speak about in this episode. Just as an overview, I'm going to be speaking about a nonprofit organization. I would like to share a few words about my thoughts and express my feelings towards the people in Ukraine right now that are suffering. And other than that, I think it'll probably just go off the rails on its own. It'll just evolve from there. But those are the only things that I have planned, I guess. I usually have a little bit of a plan when I sit down. So firstly, our friend Kayla, whom I just wished a happy birthday. Belated birthday, to be fair. Her and her husband Andrew have been emailing with me recently after they commented asking if they could talk to me about their nonprofit organization. And kind of like the last episode with our friend Ariel, I just kind of see an opportunity to talk about something, to maybe help it, even if it's just a little bit, So I'm gonna put links into the description to their Facebook page and their Patreon. Their organization is called Thompson Family Homestead Inc. And I'm gonna just read a little description of what they're trying to do so that you kind of know where these links are gonna take you. This program creates a type of self-sustaining micro-community that will allow a unique opportunity for our citizens who have recently repaid their debt to society to contribute to society in a meaningful way by managing their own business. Each homestead will host the individual, a veteran, and 3 struggling families, while providing a safe, permanent environment that will allow them all to thrive. Homesteads will produce high-quality fruits, vegetables, and other goods to support both their thriving community and others in the future. So that's just a very brief overview of what they're trying to raise money to start. I know these people work really, really hard, and I just hope that just me mentioning it can help even a little bit, because I know that Kayla and Andrew are really putting their whole hearts into this, and they're good people. I've talked to them through email a couple of times, and I feel like they're just trying their best, and they deserve this. So, if you want to look at that, links are in the description. Now, I would like to speak about a few of my thoughts about what's happening right now with Russia and Ukraine. I know right now, most people are probably super tired of hearing about it because you're stressed, and I know, when I hear about things like this, I get really focused on doing nothing but trying to focus on the situation for a couple of days usually, and I'll get really in it and trying to figure out what's going on and if it's going to get better, and I really let it get to me sometimes, so I don't want me mentioning this to put anyone in a bad mood. But the only thing I really want to say is to all of my Ukrainian and Russian listeners, I know that some of you are probably even there right now, maybe even near the places where there are bombings and everything else that's happening. I think about you all the time, and I just hope that you're all going to be okay. I feel like, I don't know, the way that the whole world seems to be stepping up nation after nation to contribute in some way, even if that's just cutting off contact or, sanctions, whatever. I'm just really hoping this cannot go on for much longer, and I just hope that you're all able to stay safe. Okay, I got a little emotional for a second, but okay, we're moving on now. We're gonna move on to something a little more lighthearted now. I have been working really hard to figure out how to get my narrations on Spotify, and I did make an account with, it's like a third-party service you have to go through. You can't just upload anything you want to Spotify like you can to YouTube. It's a little more complicated, but I figured it out and I uploaded my very first story on there. I decided to upload my newest story since it's the freshest in my mind. I can remember the quality the best. Before I put up any of my other stories, I'm probably gonna skip around them and make sure that their quality is up to my standards, because unlike my YouTube channel, Spotify, it just doesn't feel like I have as much control, you know? So it's not like where it feels more acceptable to put something on my YouTube channel and then there be mistakes. It feels more like this is more professional. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna put all my videos up. Probably not all of them. I'd say the first 20 or so stories I did just weren't great. Not that the stories were bad. Some of the stories were insanely good. Most of them, I think. But the quality just wasn't there. You know, my voice acting wasn't nearly as good as it is now. I sounded very unsure a lot of the time in my narration. I hadn't developed how to sound confident yet. And obviously the sound design is much better now. Everything's just much higher quality now. So I'll probably only put up stories that are after the first 20 or so that I did. But if any of you have stories you'd really like me to put on there for ease of access and listening, let me know. The only things I can't put up, I'm pretty sure, is stories that are longer than 3 hours. So I can't put up things like The Last Sin Eater. I'm pretty sure that means I can't put up the Hollow Promises series. Essentially, any series that is longer, you know, which sucks, because most of my most popular videos are longer series. I'm pretty sure the detective story is longer than 4 hours, but if it isn't, I will definitely put that one up. The one, you know, my grandpa, retired homicide detective, that's my most popular video to date. The one that mainly has Big Daddy Stone. Oh, that's such a good one. He did so good. But I'll definitely put that one up if I can. So just let me know if you have any particular ones that you really want me to put up there for you. Well, I'll put the link in the description to my Spotify if you want to check that out. By the time you're hearing this, the first episode is definitely out, but I don't know if I'll have any other ones up. It might take me a little while to get the other ones ready, because I have to acquire a couple of things, and I'm also going to be asking all of the authors of the stories for their consent to put it on Spotify, so it might take me a while to go back and talk to all of them again. But thankfully, a lot of my stories are by the same authors. I have a lot of stretches of my videos that are like 5 or 6 stories from the same person, so hopefully it won't take quite so long. I have really been loving Pokemon Legends Arceus. And yes, I know. I was an early 2000s kid. You know, I'm only 23. I remember, okay? I remember that it used to be Arceus, all right? You can't lie to me. You can't lie to us. Me and whoever is on the other end of this conversation knowing what I'm talking about right now. Yes, you. Not those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. You are all sitting there in confusion. But the other ones, we're really having a moment of camaraderie, if you will. Yes. I remember, but you know, I understand the change, and in fact, I like the change, because arse means ass. After I learned that, I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. I think it's really funny to explain that to people, though, that don't know that they couldn't keep it as Arceus because everyone that said that wasn't in America was just calling him Arceus. Yeah, I think that's pretty great, to be honest. Game Freak is woke as fuck, though. You know what I'm saying? They were like, we can't let this slide. And they changed that shit. So. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm in a silly, goofy mood. I'm just saying whatever right now. Another thing I wanted to touch on in this episode is something that keeps coming up recently, so I just wanted to talk about it to let everyone know. If you email me or DM me or leave a comment and I don't respond for a long time, I'm not ignoring you or anything. I still treat my channel as a hobby. I feel like a broken record saying that all the time, but it's not to the point where I treat it as a job, and I don't know if it ever will be. So when I don't respond, it's not really any reason other than I probably just haven't looked at my email for a while. I have like a separate special email for YouTube, and when I'm not actively needing to use my email for something like sending lines or receiving things or anything like that, I usually just don't look at it for a couple of days. And the same thing can be said for like my DMs on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. So I hope that none of you feel like I'm being rude, because I'm not trying to be. And I will eventually get back to you, probably just within a week. You know, sometimes I'll step away for as long as 5 or 6 days, but you know, I'm just not a big social media person. So that definitely is part of why DMs slip through so easily. You know, even as far as Discord, I try to use Discord every day since I have a server, but I don't know. If you also are the type of person that doesn't really love social media in your life, you'll probably understand what I'm getting at. But seriously, I'll just forget sometimes. It doesn't feel supernatural to me to just always be checking all of my social media. So it's a little easier with the email, but I don't know. That's just me. I'm not big into social media. I wasn't before I started my YouTube, and I'm still not now. And I've never liked social media very much at all. I feel like I could make a whole entire episode just talking about social media because it's such a good and terrible thing. So many good things, so many bad things. I don't think I have it in me to talk more about it than that, but yeah, that's essentially what I wanted to say with a little bit of tangent on the side. Oh yeah, you know, talking about that made me think of another conversation I've had a lot recently. Like, when I bring these things up in Rom's ramblings, especially if it's things pertaining to my channel that I want to clarify, it's usually because, like, right before I recorded that and the days leading up to that, I ended up having the same conversation 4, 5, 6 times with different people. And so I realized that there might be a lot of these people that think or feel that way. But anyway, streaming. A lot of you want me to stream. I get lots of requests to stream video games, especially. I think lots of people get excited when they hear how much I like to play games. And it would make sense for me to stream them, considering I'm a growing YouTuber that games, and that would probably get a lot of people watching. The reason that I don't ever stream, and I've only streamed 4 or 5 times, is it's extremely stressful. When I stream, I can't do it and not feel a lot of anxiety. Streaming to me feels like sitting in a room that's surrounded by a bunch of one-way mirrors, and everyone on the other side is staring at me the whole time. You know, even if I don't have a face cam on, it just feels really, really stressful. It feels like everyone is judging everything that you're doing. I'm sure lots of people feel that way when they stream. The only difference is that I don't force myself to do it anyway. I'm not saying I never will, but that's just why I kind of don't. It just makes me uncomfortable. Maybe I would feel a little bit less uncomfortable if I tried streaming more, so I had experience. But for now, I don't know. I would just rather work on stories and not worry about that. Streaming is just really exhausting for me, anyway. It might be because I'm an introvert and streaming feels like you have to be very much an extrovert while you're doing it. You have to watch the chat and talk to people. Well, you don't have to, but it's generally wanted that you watch the chat and talk to people and that you be entertaining. And there's always the chance that something could go wrong, and anyway, that's why I don't stream very much, but maybe I will in the future. I'm really glad that I've been able to put out a couple more stories recently, even though it's still been a little spread out. For the past, I think this is the 6th day, I've been having kidney stone problems again. I'm not sure if I just have one or multiple little ones, but I ran out of my medicine for it for a few days, and I'm not sure if that's what caused it, but I've had a stone for, like I said, like 6 days now. And that sucks, but I was able to get up nostalgia trip and I was really happy about that. So I recorded that before the stone came, and then it just turned what would have been like 1 day of sound design into like 4 because I had to stretch it out and work when it wasn't bothering me. But other than that, everything's good. Everything's hunky-dory. That's about all I had to say today, though. I think I'm probably going to put out another Ramblings fairly soon. Oh yeah, also, I don't know if I'm going to put Rom's Rambling on Spotify, despite the fact that it's like an actual podcasty thing I do. I'm not sure if it's popular enough. I guess y'all can let me know what you think. But anyway, I'm going to try to put out Ramblings a little more often. I'm always thinking of topics and stuff, and then I just don't do it because I'm busy or sick and stuff comes up, but I really enjoy making these, so I'll probably see you again soon, and I hope that you all have a fantastic day.